If you see iconic buildings and landmarks across the country lit up in orange throughout the month of November, they didn't forget to switch off their Halloween lights. It is in honor of November being National Family Caregivers Month, National COPD Awareness Month, and of course, Veterans Day. Caregiver Action Network, the nation's leading family caregiver organization, is raising awareness about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and highlighting the burden of the disease on patients, especially veterans and their caregivers. John Shaw is here with more. John, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you, Tina. It's great to be with you today.
Let's actually start out with talking about caregivers and how many are there really in the country?
Well, it surprises a lot of people, but now there are 90 million family caregivers across the country. You know, caring for an elderly parent or somebody at home who has a chronic health condition like COPD. So that's 2 out of every 5 adults.
And I know we're talking about bringing awareness, to what they do and kind of what takes a toll on them. Can you kind of give us a little bit of information on that?
Sure. Family caregiving is a pretty serious business. You know, you're the person who's managing the medications for your loved one, making sure they get back and forth to all those doctor appointments. And it's a heavy responsibility. And what most people don't know is the very stress of being a family caregiver can take a tremendous toll on your own health. That family caregivers are much more likely to suffer depression, for instance, than non-caregivers. And they're at greater risk for conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, just from that pressure, that stress of being a family caregiver. So this month we want to remind all those family caregivers that you need to take care of yourself first so that you can be strong enough to take care of your loved one.
And I know we're kind of connecting the dots with caregivers and those that are handling COPD. What is that connection and how does that make it different?
Well, COPD is a very big disease in the United States. It's actually the 3rd leading cause of death across the country. You don't necessarily think of it. You think of cancer and heart attacks. But 11 million people have COPD, and twice as many more have COPD but don't even know about it. So that's a lot of people with breathing problems and a lot of family caregivers taking care of them. So that's why we wanted to bring attention to it this month.
Well, and on top of that, I know there's a stat out about how many veterans are dealing with COPD, and that's actually kind of a little shocking as well.
Yeah, it's a little scary. Veterans 3 times more likely to have COPD than non-veterans. And, think about it. If you were a soldier stationed in Iraq or Afghanistan, living in that dust and sand every day, exposed to those chemicals that come from explosive devices, all of that can contribute to COPD later on. So vets 3 times more likely to have COPD. So it's worth getting checked out because, as we said, 2 out of 3 people who have COPD haven't been diagnosed. They don't know it yet.
And I know, before I let you go, I know we're talking a lot about caregivers and what they go through. If somebody is listening and they themselves are a caregiver, do you have any advice for them or something we can leave them with today?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, you are not alone. It feels very lonely when you're in the caregiving role and you feel very isolated. But 2 out of every 5 of us are walking in the same shoes or kind of in the same boat. And the fact is, there is help out there for you. At our website, www.caregiveraction.org, we have free information and resources to help you do the job you do every day. And we're launching videos this month for those who are caring for someone with COPD. But let us help you out. There's information there for you. caregiveraction.org.
Well, John, we are really bringing awareness to a lot of great issues right now. I want to thank you so much for stopping in with us.
Thank you, Tina. It's been my pleasure.
Don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend. We'll be right back.